Now, show, as always, we'll start with some music or video. Today, live from the piano of Mojo. In open fields of wildflowers, she breathes the air and flies away. She thanks you, Jesus, for the daisies and the roses. No simple language, someday she'll understand the meaning of it all. He's more than the laughter or the stars in the heavens, close as a heartbeat or a song on her lips. Someday she'll trust him, learn how to see him. Someday he'll call her, she will come running, fall in his arms. Oops. The tears will fall down and we'll pray. I want to fall in love with you. 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 Sitting silent, wearing Sunday best. The sermon echoes through the walls. A great salvation through it calls to the people who stare into nowhere, can't feel the chains on their souls. He's more than the laughter of the stars in the heavens, as close as a heartbeat or a song on our lips. Someday we'll trust him, learn how to see him. Someday he'll call us, we will come running, fall in his arms. The tears will fall down and we'll pray. I want to fall in love with you. 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 We want to pray. It seems too easy to call you Savior, not close enough to call you God. So as I sit here, think of the words I can mention to show my devotion. I want to fall in love with you. 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 I want to. I want to fall in love with you. 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 That was
All
Love
right.
Savior by Jars of Clay.
Oh, Jars of Clay. That brings me back. That
Yeah,
brings
me
me
too.
back.
Right.
I used to
Well,
go to this music festival in Wilmer, Minnesota called
no way.
Sunshine. Yeah,
Seriously. Oh,
I got to meet and actually play like momentarily with Burlap to Cashmere, which is
come
really cool.
on. One of my best friends lives in Wilmer, Minnesota.
Get out of town. Cut it out. All right. Well, yeah, everybody, welcome to the Now Show. Joe already gave the welcoming message. We're so excited today to be in a new week, a new Monday. We got through the walruses of the moment, and we may talk about that later. We may not. But oh boy, I am the walrus. Cuckoo, cuckoo. So
Gesundheit.
we thank you. We've got our guests Jacob and Jim today, and they have some pretty amazing things that they're cooking up in the music and merch industries.
Woo, all right.
And yeah, right.
Let's go.
So yeah, I want to just we've had Jacob as kind of our like rough pilot guest. So Jacob, I want to start with you and kind of highlight you and you know, give you a moment to reintroduce yourself. Hey Mojo, I'm sorry, I'm taking your place. There we go. So Jacob, just tell us a little bit about yourself and what you do, and maybe give some context, like where did we meet?
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely. So we met about 3, 4 years ago on something similar to what we're doing now, but it was all Twitter Spaces at the time. I know it's the X platform now, but yeah, we were in there. There was a member of the Wu-Tang Clan, I believe, speaking about their music, and I kind of was diving deep, saying, I'm kind of shooting the long game for what I have in store, and now 4 years later we're still talking. The
Yep.
patent was approved, so the long game turned out to be successful. And what we have patented was embedding near field communication, or NFC chips, directly to physical wearables from head to toe, anything that's a garment. And then yep, just like that hat right there, and you're able to take a mobile device or an NFC reader, tap it, then it pulls you up to a URL link. In the beginning, it was very simple. We're doing one basic URL link to prompt that user to the URL. However, as we were learning, that wasn't as secure. So as we did our research, we found the most secure chips, the most secure software, and from that point in time, we've really pivoted. And from creating Tag Tappers LLC and working on Tag Tappers over the years, we just formed a new company called Verilink, and Verilink stands for
Verily.
verified links. So
Go
we will
Berlin.
be able to authenticate merchandise and provide authentic media directly through the garments. So whether it be photos, audio, video, basically a music's best friend, right? A tool builder to build your own profile in your music and upload it right to your own garments that you could wear out and share in public, or you know um, the tour merchandise. There's a lot of benefits and upside to having this piece of technology into the garments, as you know. So yeah, that's a little bit of what we do and how we do it.
Yeah, I want to pause a moment to invite folks to our Chat Mosa listening lounge. If you'd like to view the live stream and also get these links, and also just hang out with producer Mary, you can see her lighten up the chat. She's
Yes.
putting Verilink in there, and she's so on top of everything. And even check out, she's everywhere. She's everywhere. Look at this. She's also on our Restream platform. She's just this is the song that Mojo opened with, and she's already beat me to the punch, which I love. Here are our guests, Jacob and Jim. You can join us on chatmosa.com as well. And if you just look for the giant PEAR, that is our sponsor, and the presenting sponsor for this show is the PEAR community on X, and also on pearcoin.xyz. That's where you can check out what they're doing. Musical karaoke on Thursdays. That, like, this last Thursday was an incredible show. But
It was.
yeah. So why Chat Mosa? Well, you can check out this Verilink. You can go right there. You can just click on it, and I'm actually going to kind of show you that right now.
I'm so excited to find out about Verlink. Oh my god.
Here, it'll take Jacob's landing page for his. And it's such a good platform that it's taking a while to load. It's probably so check out like this looks really cool. You've done some things since we met like 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
Look at that.
Currently, yeah. So right now, that's our current landing page. I built it out as verilink.info so people can get all the resources on what we're currently doing and handling. However, the developers are currently working on verilink.app, And in the next few weeks, you should be able to go up and do sign up for email on the
Right here.
Verilink.app page. Uh, However, in the next week or so, we will be releasing our MVP. So we're very excited about that.
Wahoo! This is
Let's go.
it's already a like most stunning landing page I've seen. This just makes me happy. I don't know why. I love waves. It's probably the music thing,
Right.
but yeah. So hop on over, folks, into Chatmosa, and then the other kind of why is you can also check out Jacob's social media right here. He's logged in through Google, so you can write him a message. And then like here, Mary is logged in through her X profile. I'm logged in through my LinkedIn, but we can go to Mary's and then it takes us right to her X profile and check her out, give her a tip because she's like the most incredible producer ever. Or you can go to Mojo's and you can also see his X profile. And I'm click happy right now. So he's got his mojo.studio right here if you would like to support him as well. And yeah, I mean, I'm logged in through my LinkedIn. Like you can also just click on my little face. Oh, I still have my camera on. Yeah, we can turn that off for now. There we go. You can visit my LinkedIn page. And we're meeting in the hallways of the internet. That's kind of how I like to think of Chatmosa. And it connects the platforms of X and help me out, Mojo. I'm clicking and talking at the same time.
LinkedIn, you got Google, there's tons of platforms.
Microsoft,
right.
TikTok.
There we go.
X and Facebook. There we go. That's all of them.
Yeah, all of us. Not YouTube yet, right though, Dan? YouTube not yet?
Well, I mean, that's Google.
Google, right.
Yeah, YouTube is on the Google, it's in the Google platform. Right. And see, Jacob just put in here, I clicked around the world so much, I forgot where I was. So now I'm back on Chatmosa. Around the world, yeah. And Mary's saying Chatmosa is meeting in the hallways of the internet. You can notice Jacob also put in to Chatmosa the Verilink app. I'm actually interested to see this. Oh yeah, this is the smart thing to do. Christelle talks about this all the time. Is to just you get so many emails, founders and creators and innovators. If you just have a very simple landing page and there's an exciting thing coming, and then you just can be in their email list. I'm going to do this.
That's a good tip right there. Good
Look
tip.
right there. I want to get notified. There.
Right on.
So that's that. All right, I want to pass it back to Jacob and Jim. Now that we've traveled the hallways of the internet, Jacob, if you've had any other things to say, and then we can pass it to Jim to introduce himself.
No, I think we'll pass it right to Jim. I think I always appreciate you opening up the floor for us to speak. It's been quite some time. Jim just texted that he's got a tech issue and he'll be jumping right back in.
Okay.
Sure. But yeah, so up until that point, again, tag tappers over the past 4 or 5 years has basically been a proof of concept to the new business and what we're going to be rolling out here. And super excited to show what we have in store. I did show Dan some stuff. It's very user friendly. Kind of like a link tree and a social media page builder. You'll be able to add all of your links associated with you, a profile page, and then it gets into the fun stuff. You can start adding your audio and video, your music, the dates that you publish them, so you can have all of that content within a single NFC chip. We currently offer NFC guitar pick necklaces, stickers. We have perfect. We have obviously the patent for the garments, right? So our main product would be any garment chipped, but then the beauty of it though is like it doesn't stop at musicians, right? So and that's where users can really take advantage of it. The mini NFC CDs, those are really cool products. They're very tangible and it gives the artists the availability to sell right back to their fans, right? So that's the beauty of it, where they can now say, hey, yes, I have a digital download of my music. However, I can now directly monetize it to my fans for $5, $10 a piece, and they can get exclusive content, thank you messages, a bonus song, things that they can deliver that actually adds
Yeah.
value to their fans.
Come on, that's so good.
Yeah, I want to pass you the mic because because I have a feeling this is like the first year hearing of this. I've already had a couple conversations with Jacob.
Right.
Go for it, Mojo.
Pick me. Pick me. Oh, I'm so excited about this. I haven't heard about any of this until right now. And when it comes to crypto and NFT stuff, it's like a different language, and I'm picking up a few words here and there. But it's like I can like ask how to go to the bathroom, and that's about it in the NFT language, which is important. It's important to know that, which way is the bathroom.
How do you ask? No, I'm not going to ask them.
No, you're right. I won't do that on the air.
Okay.
But as a musician, both as a performer, where I'm assuming I'm going to sell merch on the road, but I don't want to have to carry all the merch with me because I'm probably going to be a 1 or 2 man show, and carrying the merch along is just slogs everything down. Not to mention you have to pay for it all up front. So all that's exciting. Not to mention I've got a merch store already with all my brand stuff on. I got 1,000 products. Nobody knows it's there, and it has nothing to do with crypto. And you're like tying all this stuff together in my head. I'm like, oh my gosh. And then I have 2 songs that I've recorded that are they're my own original music. They're already on the IMU TV, Independent Musicians Universe TV.tv, and have ranked 1 and 2 and 3 in the top for the last several months. So I'm like, well, how do I monetize this? I don't know how to. I'm a creative, right? And so I'm just like creating, and everybody's saying, turn it into a business. I'm like, but I'm not a business person. So you're helping bridge that gap. Plus, you're taking out all the distribution costs of, someone says, I'll do that for you, Joe, but I'm going to take 30%, or I'm going to take 50%, or I'm going to take 70%, and I'll give you just a little bit. Or if you're on Spotify, I'm going to take 99%, and I'll give you 1% back. And I'm like, yeah, that sucks. I don't want to do that, right?
So yeah, that's the beauty of it, right? We're turning the artist into the distribution platform, right? And as it should be, right? And that's where a lot of these artists already have a good way of posting on their socials. They already have a good way of getting their own music out there, doing shows, but we're adding tools to your repertoire, right? Like you now have the availability to monetize with mini NFC CDs, with guitar pick necklaces, something that you can bring in a suitcase and monetize $5, $10 a piece for again. And as long as you have the music on for a digital download, you can also go for your RIAA if you're
what's that alphabet soup? RIAA.
Help with the acronym.
The hold on here. The distribution of your music, so you can go for gold, silver, platinum, and you can actually rank your music for record sales. So like as long as it's separated as a digital download, we're now adding it as a physical that people can purchase that they would rather have than just a digital download.
Yeah.
And because you've separated the two, it still counts even if you're just selling the merchandise now. So it doesn't, as long as it's online as a digital download, you can now have these garments with the information in it, the music, the stuff they've never seen before, and monetize that part, and then still go and prove that garment sale is also a record sale.
That's amazing.
So that's where,
wow. That's so cool.
Yeah. So just real briefly, that's solving a huge pain point that we have as David Z Foundation, because one of our biggest challenges is the number of participants in a program. So like we have a music mentor program that focuses on youth mental health. It's usually 1 or 2. It's just solos and duets. And that's easy to get them, 1 or both of those musicians and youth an ASCAP or BMI, license account, so that they can have those residuals and those income streams coming directly to them. But when we have like songs like Kindness is Beautiful, which we wrote with 296 second graders at PS 204 in Brooklyn, it's really challenging. So we kind of got into this situation where we want to have these songs eligible for Grammys, and in order to do that, you have to have them commercially available to the public. So right now our distribution is, we get them out on YouTube. So We knew that was just kind of like this placeholder until we figure out the right system. But I do want to pass the mic to Jim to introduce yourself and welcome back, and tell us a little bit about yourself.
Oh man, there's a lot to get into there.
Yeah.
I actually met Jacob, and he introduced me to Dan here to get on this call, but thought I came up with an NFC technology. Ended up finding him, gave him a call, and I was like, "Dude, you're a genius. Let's work together in some way, shape, or form." And that obviously led me on this call. So kind of little insight. I'm a musician with my co-founder as well. He's here. He's just a little sleepy. So, and what we do is we make music, but we take a little bit of a different approach, where we recognize that mental health, specifically in men nowadays in this country, in this world, we're supposed to be leaders, men of God, and we haven't necessarily got our feelings out in the best way. And that's kind of our downfall, right? We have that split second where we lose control, and then there goes our entire lives. And at one point or another, whether it was Rocky, whether it was watching Remember the Titans, or maybe listening to your favorite album, there was a moment where you reached out and you're like, I want to be like that guy, or this song resonated with you. We had this thought where it's, well, we have Jacob, for example, right? Well, Jacob may have listened to Boulevard of Broken Dreams when he was younger, and that was his song, and it got him through a tough time. Now, but what if there was a 4-track EP about Jacob, where we sat down and said, all right, let's get all the best producers and songwriters in one room that you like to create this 4-track record, and then from that, we're going to turn it into a short film as well. And the big ultimate goal here is for, let's say we have a 100-track album called Heartbreak, and it's 100 different people with their stories saying, hey,
oh wow,
they're broken, or I feel pain, or this or that. And the goal is for everybody to not feel alone. And when we can do interviews with the likes of some of the largest musicians on the planet, or we can interview the guy who's just walking down the street, because we're so convinced that the feelings that we feel, that Dan, you don't feel the same pain that I feel. But the reality is we do. We're just too prideful to admit it. So through this project, it's we're looking to really do a lot. And Jacob introduced me to Dan here, and there's another platform. I heard you guys talking about monetization earlier, where particular artist, if you guys know him, the name of Forrest Frank, I'm pretty close with the guy who's pretty much the reason he grew, but more importantly, a way for independent musicians to not only monetize their own content, but solely rely on this platform to scale themselves as well. So a little bit of this, a little bit of that. Big purpose is God is good, is what I'll say.
Yeah, well said. So what?
There.
High like 20 or 15 or however many we have. So I just wanted to here. Let me redo our real estate right here. Goodness, I wanted to showcase what some of the possibilities that of the what you can have linked to this. So for example, like this is the paircoin.xyz, any kind of landing page that you can attach to the link. And what Jacob was mentioning that he was creating too, it is something that can be changed and that has this whole back end that is being developed. And Jim, I love this the concept of this album where you're saying like let's connect and I love the specificity too. Let's connect as men that that have stories to tell over one particular emotion, and here it is. Here's my story. Here's my version of the story. And then Joe is waving. So Joe, go ahead.
It's just so great. Everything Jacob shared, and not just the technology, that's awesome, right? Because the technology can accelerate the vision. Technology is a tool, and so if you use the tool well, it can. So my analogy to technology is like giving a chainsaw to a toddler, right? If you don't know what you're doing, you can hurt yourselves and others, and a lot of people do that with technology. But technology is a tool. But once you learn how to master it and you grow, you mature and you get stronger and you figure out how the tools worked, not only can a chainsaw cut down trees, it can actually carve a family of bears. This like really intricate carving with a chainsaw. It depends on whether you're a master of the tool or not, right? And so I just love the fact that you guys are taking a tool that has been used for evil. We know that. And every tool is, because in the heart of humans, every human, there's an opportunity to go to evil or good, and we all vacillate back and forth, right? And so Jim's saying, I loved his heart. He says, in a moment of weakness, everything crumbles, everything could fall apart, and then we think, well, I'm the only one, and so then we keep it all a secret. And I can tell you from my own experience, the secrets I kept from the abuse as a child were the ones that destroyed me from the inside out. Talk about mental health. Because one, I was ashamed to admit I'd been abused, and I thought somehow it was my fault, and I thought I was the only one because nobody's talking about it. And that was back in the 1970s when it was easy to talk about because there was a stigma. There was a stigma around it, right? So that festered inside of me. I call it the splinter in my heart. There's a splinter in my heart, and I just thought, oh, it'll go away, or I'll just pray. I say, Jesus will heal it. Well, that's all good, but it does require work, right? So this idea that we're only as sick as our secrets is true. The secrets that we keep are the things they're the splinters in our heart that fester over time, and they get infected, right? And so you got to pull it out, and with the help of friends and your faith, you pull the splinter out into the light, and it's the light that heals it. In fact, I've heard it said that light is the best antiseptic. Period. That's a science fact. Light is the best antiseptic. So the metaphor of bringing the deep secrets out of our heart that we think nobody will understand, or if they find out about it, they're not going to like me. That was the voice in my head. Well, if somebody knows this happened to me, then they're not going to think I'm cool anymore. Well, that's not even true. The truth is, as humans and as men, which men don't know this because they're not taught this, that we connect most deeply and most profoundly at our points of weakness, not at our points of strength. And as men, we put on the armor, we put on the pads, we put on the stuff. We're a warrior, right? We're a warrior. We're here to fight. And we never admit that, oh, we're wounded. Warriors get wounded. And they need the wounds bound up, and they need addressed, and they need to be healed in order to get back on the field again. So it's just ridiculous that we all play secret, keep our secrets, and our secrets make us sick, and then we eventually implode, right? And mental health is the number one epidemic. It's not COVID. Mental health is wonder, especially among men, because they can't talk about it, or they don't think they can. So anyway, I applaud you. I love what you're doing.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, "Splinter in My Heart." Like that could be an upcoming EP.
Right.
That just because I taught teen leadership with my co-teacher when I was teaching high school, and we taught teen leadership and project-based learning. In teen leadership, we had this curriculum that really made you do a lot of this introspective work. And the term "splinter in my heart" reminded of a story where, if you think of the boundaries we keep and the barriers, like we were talking with Christelle last week about boundaries and barriers. Whenever you hammer a nail into a fence, that there's going to be that wound. And even if you take that nail out, there's still a hole. There's still that evidence of something that happened. So it's not that we go through these processes of healing and reconciliation and social justice, and things just go away. There's always going to be that crack or that scar or that hole or that splinter. And if the more people we can find that can share in that story, and what better way through music, then the more we can normalize the fact that we all have these stories to tell. So we got a little deep here, which is great. I mean, that's good. Good Monday energy.
Let me tag on what Dan said just a little bit more. There's a difference to me, in my mind, and in my experience, difference between the splinter and the scar. The scar is what's left over after the splinter is removed. But a lot of us, we want to make the scars go away. But the scars are the roadmap that says how far we've come. I mean, as a warrior, as a man, you actually brag about your scars, right? Think about the first Jaws movie. They're all on the boat the night before the big hunt. They're going to go hunt. They're going to kill Jaws the next day. And there's these ragtag bunch of shark hunters, and there's like one light hanging down over the table, and the boat's rocking on the ocean, and they're drinking, and they're trying to get they're trying to steal up their courage for the big hunt because this shark that's been terrorizing the world, right? And so, but what do? They start telling the stories about the battles of the past, and they start showing their scars. You remember the time when the piranha got me here? Oh yeah, and then the yellowtail got me here. Oh yeah, remember the stingray left the scar? And the other guy says, well, "That's not a scar." And he pulls up his pant leg. There's a scar from his ankle all the way up, of his leg, and they're bragging about, look at the scars, and the scars aren't beautiful, but they represent the story of what they overcome. And there's these are the coolest things ever because look what I overcame. And I'm like, yes, once you pull the splinter out, it does leave a scar, but the scar is something to brag about, to say, look what I overcame with my faith, with my family, with my friends, right? The 3 essential F's: faith, family, and friends. I can actually get the scar out, and get the splinter out. It'll leave a scar, but that's the story I get to tell. That look what I overcame.
That's so amazing. Jim or Jacob, I want to pass it back to you. If any comments? I can keep going on this forever.
I can stay on the same topic, and I can bring it back to like how that relates to the music. Like a lot of these young artists don't understand the industry, right? They don't know. They just see it on social media. They try to copy paste, repeat, and then they get depressed that it's not working because they don't understand it. Maximizing your streams is only going to get you so far. I think it's 150 on-demand streams equals 1 sale for singles, right? That's ridiculous, right? So imagine having that stream available on a chip you could sell for $5 to 150 people. Now you're 5 times 150 instead of 150 times 0.00000004 cents. Like it's astronomically low, and you're signing your masters right out the door the second you go to a label. So like creating your own label, creating yourself as the label, basing it off of yourself, your story, your pain could be the strongest way for you to build your music career, right? Like and a lot of people don't understand that. They just think they need to get signed with the label. And I think, the industry's proven opposite. There's about 3 or 4 really big artists right now, and they're all independent. And they've understand, they've cracked the code. I'm not giving my 95/5 splits to Spotify anymore because that's robbery, right? Like, so it's just, I think there's a big way to push back and really take ownership of what these people are creating. It's their art, it's their music, it's their pain, it's their struggle, and they're putting it out there for us to experience it. They should absolutely be able to monetize it and keep the 95, and maybe we get 5, like completely flip it.
That right there.
Jim, I saw you leaning in too. So go for it, Jim.
We're talking about monetization and artists keeping their masters, and the dark side of the industry as well. And this is where there's another contact of mine. Are you guys familiar with a platform called Grouped by any chance?
I am, because you told me about it.
Right. Okay, so we're going to exclude him from this. Anyways, long story short, for lack of a better term, it's like Patreon exclusively for independent musicians. So I don't know if I mentioned this. Forgive me if I did. But
say what it's called again, please, Jim. Say what it's called again.
Grouped, Grouped. And the reason this was created was initially it was a musician, and he's like, OnlyFans takes way too much of a percentage. But what if we did this for musicians? And it's behind the scenes content, it's unreleased music, but it's more so really focusing your narrowing your niche on your top 1% fan, the ones who will really follow you. And through this, I've seen the likes of Forrest Frank, Jake, Mike, Nick D, Connor Price. They've absolutely exponentially grown in this standpoint. And somebody like Jacob, I have yet to make that introduction here, but to connect all of this together to not only preserve music for what it is, but preserve that creativity, because I'm sure we'd all agree most of the mainstream stuff, it's just marketed well. It's not really this phenomenal music. We got writers, producers, and no discredit to them whatsoever, right? But nobody sees that in the background. There's a musician like myself and my buddy where we're doing the work, and then all of a sudden someone scoops along and says, here's $1 million. This is going to be great. And we get absolutely screwed. So yeah, that's kind of put.
Yeah, because what they don't tell you with that $1 million is that here it is up front Oh, and
Yep.
by the way, if you want a jet for your music video, it's not going from that $1 million we gave you. It's going on a tab that you got to pay
Yep.
back.
Right.
So
It's
like
a loan.
anything you acquire through those deals and through those stuff, like you guys really got to be careful about reading any contracts you get involved with, because it's like a lot of these artists don't make a single dime until 30, 32 years old, and they've been doing it since they were 18, right? So
Right.
that's where it's like it's crazy. There's another platform I wanted to mention. I think it's called Even. Let me look it up.
Okay. And while you're looking that up, I just in the our chat Mosa, I put in grouped. And so you can join us in the listening lounge there anytime. And you'll see all of these little goodies that we're mentioning. Whoa, what happened? Oh, interesting. What did I just what did I do? Yes. Go ahead. Go ahead, Mojo.
It sounded like Dan said you can join us in grouped. That's not what he meant. He meant you
No,
can
join us in the listening lounge on chat Mosa. Yeah. Yeah. Thank you for that.
That's right.
All right.
And
I've
never heard of
Right.
got her back.
I
never heard
put
of
it
it.
up in the chat Mosa,
Okay, good.
Oh, sweet.
but
There we
it's
go.
backstage.even. They're doing basically NFT distribution music direct to fans before it hits any streaming platform. So it's like very good narrative. I've seen a lot of big artists who I thought were going to stay independent use this as a tool for themselves, and they were able to scale dramatically. So I just think,
Wow.
there's a
Yeah.
lot out there for artists right now, because there is a big shift in the industry. So
Yep.
check that out. That's a gem right there.
That's really cool, Jacob. I think that's that's another addition here, but ultimately it's just helping the right people scale from not only a business standpoint where they won't be taken advantage of, but where they can actually be their true selves. And some of those artists you see on that page there, and again, I don't know if I mentioned this. Brain's super excited right now, and again, thanks for having me on the call. But there's the reason Forrest Frank is who he is due to Grouped, and there's a lot of other artists, Connor Price, Nick D.
Yep.
I know Jake JBKE. He's got about 70,000 subscribers, all at $9 a month. And what's even cooler is Group not only has an in-house payment processor that they're developing, but they only take 10%. So the musicians are actually able to not only, so somebody like myself and us for our music, we just post the raw content on this platform and we don't edit it. Why? Raw behind the scenes. It's follow the journey. And then you can take that and cut it, whether you want to do B-roll or short form content or pictures, and you can post it everywhere else. So this ensures that your main social media platform is driving revenue as opposed to Instagram, which pays you pennies on the dollars.
Right.
So
Yeah.
I think there's a huge, yeah,
Go.
I think that's
Jacob,
huge.
you go. Jacob.
I really do. I think there's also an opportunity to show how this can foster partnerships and collaborations. Because now here's my digital song. You can go get it. But this hoodie I have is two split designs between me and this other artist. And the chip inside of it houses a thank you message from both of us. And both of our albums in the one garment, right? So it's like there's ways to foster a lot of really cool collaborative efforts, and I feel like the more that the independent artists work together, the easier it's going to be for them to scale, to go to shows, to book out events, right? And I think a lot of people don't know where to start, and I think like that's the hardest part, right? And that's why they go online, and then it's what is it from there? They got a million resources they don't know, and then it should be very cut and dry and very simple for people.
I love it. So we only have 6 minutes left, Dan. Just didn't know if you want to do any drawing or artwork today.
I think
Don't
we
have- don't have
may not. I think this has been such a rich discussion.
Yep.
Unless there's anything, let me not decide for you, my guest. So Jim and Jacob, we usually do some drawing. So we could just kind of summarize some of the ideas that we haven't necessarily gotten to yet, but we talked about on the call last week. Or we could prompt something for our listeners to draw that is relevant to this conversation. So what
So
are you guys thinking?
may I suggest the splinter in the heart idea? And
Ooh,
people will see this in different ways, and they'll personalize it. And so
yeah,
rather than us taking the time to give them a digital picture, I would highly recommend and invite anybody who's listening, whether you're an artist or not, either use a digital tool or with your own hands, draw what it looks like to you. What does a
I
splinter
love
in your
that.
heart, what does a splinter in a heart look like? And I think there's going to be some really good healing that can kind of come out of that just by entertaining the idea and bring it to the light through your hands, whether that's
All
through
right, I'm
AI.
just gonna put. I love that idea because we don't necessarily have enough time to get into that
Right,
whole
right.
prompting thing. Especially, I still need some time after last week. Oh boy, that was interesting.
That was awesome. It was hilarious.
Yeah, that was awesome. It really
It was,
was
it was
awesome.
amazing.
Yeah.
That was in the
So
moment. And it was in the moment. It was one of the best moments we've had so far. It was so great.
yeah. So a drawing prompt is splinter in the heart.
How about
Okay.
splinter in your heart? Splinter in your
Oh,
heart. Make it
splinter.
personal.
Ooh, yeah. Okay, fine. Just yeah, you guys keep going. I'm gonna put this drawing prompt up.
Yeah. So if you don't mind, I really got a couple minutes. First, I want to say thank you so much to Jacob and Jim. In this 1 hour or less, you have inspired me miles. So I'm 50. I just turned 59 years old. You're talking about an 18-year-old musician or a 32-year-old musician. I'm more than twice that, right? And so I'm like, I had this perception, but my time had passed. I missed the opportunity. I missed the boat. I raised my family. I did my kids, and so I guess that's for the next generation. And what you guys are telling me is that that's not true. You don't have to get contracts.
Absolutely.
You don't have to go to the grind and pay everybody else for everything and leave nothing behind. I can actually create uh, a profitable business off of my artwork at age 59. And so thank you for that. And
Yeah,
since
absolutely.
we got 3 minutes left, if it's all right with you, Dan, and your other guys, I wrote a song called "The Hard Truth," which it really is a great, perfect fit for what we've been talking about, and it's my own song. Well, it's actually a collaboration for that matter, because just a real quick story, I was performing live on X in an open space, and a lady piped in after that I'd never met, and she said, "I love your vibe, I love your music, and I've got lyrics, but I don't know how to create a song. Would you take my lyrics and turn them into a song?" And I said, I'll try. I can't promise anything. I'll try. So in the back channel, she sends me the lyrics to this song called "The Hard Truth." I titled it "The Hard Truth." She called it Brooke's song because that was her name. And so I put my music to her lyrics, and it came out. I'll let you guys decide how it came out, but it's one of my two songs that's on imutv.tv that captures the pain that we've been talking about. And it's not even my words, but I can feel it because it's my story and it's my music. And so everything we talked about is sort of encapsulated in this one song. And with your permission, Dan, let's play The Hard Truth.
Yeah. I mean, I wanted to quickly pass the mic to Jim or Jacob. Any closing
Sure.
thoughts, and then let's end with the song.
Great.
Absolute pleasure for you guys to have the invitation on this call. I really appreciate it and look forward to connecting with you guys. You know, not on the outside of this, but hopefully being on here again and having that privilege. That's pretty much it.
Yeah,
And
awesome.
one more thing, I'm glad to hear that I can inspire someone when it comes to following their dream. No matter
awesome.
age, sexual orientation, demographic, where you are, you always got to chase that. Always got to chase that, and that's what I'll leave it. I do got to head out right now, so do want to hear the song, but I will let you go. Thank you guys so much. Have a phenomenal day, and God bless.
You too, sir. Thank you.
All right.
And for me, again, it's always a pleasure. Thank you for hosting. Um, you know, there's a lot I would like to say, but I'll keep it as short as possible. I think I'm so glad we were able to inspire you, but there is more inspiration out there. If you look at a lot of the actual fast food restaurant chains out there, most of these individuals didn't start their businesses until they were in their mid 50s to early 60s, and
Oh,
they
that's
are
amazing.
still to this day the most successful restaurant chains. Um, there is Ray Kroc, who joined McDonald's at the age of 52, later bought the company at 62. So there's a lot. Kentucky Fried Chicken, right, at age of 62, started franchising the chicken businesses. So like there's a lot of inspiration in knowing like until your clock's up, you got time. So there's
Right.
never a dull moment. And thank you guys for having me on today.
All right, let's go for it, Mojo. And I put my image up of Splinter in Your Heart.
Awesome. So this is The Hard Truth. Lyrics by Brooke and music by Mojo. Okay. My quivering heart wants to tell you so much. I found my way the hard way. No one said it would be easy, but damn what they say. I will never forget how hard this is. The love of something that you can't see, because that something's got a hold on me. Look around, tell me, what do you see? Do you see something that you want to leave? For the past, present, and future reads the truth. You can't say it's a hard life when you're stuck in your old life. He keeps reaching out to you. You just got to move and make it through. 'Cause he's got you in his arms to walk you through. He's walking you through. You say you can't hide from the truth. You don't have to hide from the truth. 'Cause you want to be free. The truth will set you free. He keeps reaching out to you. You just got to move to make it through. 'Cause he's got you in his arms to walk you through. He's walking with you. He'll walk you through. Peace out, everyone.